those routes is going to lead civilization at a point of bifurcation. You see, we can go two different routes here, right? One of those routes is going to lead to tyranny and authoritarianism. The other route is going to unleash the human spirit of freedom and creativity. Now, which way it's going to go could come down to the balance might be very, very delicate. It may not take much to tip it one way or the other. But there are factions. Remember, black magic, you had to learn the ABCs, but without the use of black magic. Just to use that as a metaphor, there are those who are committed to dominion over their fellow man, who are committed to control, and right now they occupy the instruments of power. Until enough people wake up and go, okay, your reign is over. You had your chance, it didn't work, goodbye. It's time to restore freedom to this planet. And I think that the next big thing for the generation coming up behind us is the complete abolition of war from this planet once and for all. Be done with it. We don't need it anymore. We are a global community of human beings, and we don't need war anymore because we can now understand what the source of human conflict was originally, and we can purge ourselves of those traumas and grow beyond it spiritually. And that's the message in the story that has to go out from this point on. And that if we don't, nature's going to have some surprises for us. As sure as we are sitting here tonight, nature will rectify the imbalances.
Welcome, divine beings, to the cosmos. It's your boy King Chance. I hope you guys are out in nature getting sun, drinking water. It's very crucial during this time of growth, expansion. Some would even say ascension, ashe. Let's get into it. I want to start off by setting my intentions. I intend to be my highest self at all costs. My DNA is restored, activated, transformed, transfigured, embodying my soul essence. I will my will to the oneness of the divine. Ashe. Let's get it, family. Honestly, it's really like, where do we begin? I mean, we could start off by saying, we don't want war. We want peace. We want love. Ashe, I know majority of humans don't want war. And I think it's a fair assumption and assessment to say the people that are at power are not human. Whether it be humanoid, whether it be humankind, they're definitely not human. They're definitely terranoving this planet to fit some type of machinery, some type of something. Before I get too far into it, I made some notes. Base context for this is introduction would be the current state of civilization, and this is straight. Like, there's only a few words each line about what I'm going to be talking about, so it's really from the dome, from the heart. Introducing the current state of civilization, highlighting its pivotal moment of divergent. Do you know what the word divergent means? Listen, I was homeschooled, so I have to look up every word, and not just look it up. I have to read it, sound it out, write it down, and read it and read it and read it, just so it can cement into my consciousness, you know. But the word divergent, broken up in three words, divergent, it means to be different or develop a different direction in a divergent interpretation. And I believe that's what I'm collectively a part of, even in this video, being divergent, creating a whole new narrative, developing a different direction. Then I began to think about neurodivergent, neurons, mentally. As we know, the body, the skin suit, the vessel, the earth, everything follows the mind. The mind is all. And let's begin with the mind. Let's begin with our mind and the splitting of the civilizations, which when I read the word civilizations, I think of simulations, because it's not civil. We're not living in a civil world, bro. We're not. We're not in a civilization that is civil. We're not. And I want to tell you that there's nothing civil about my father having to work 6 days a week to own nothing. There's nothing civil about that at all. There's nothing civil about paying $5 for a bottle of water to live. There's nothing civil about people being homeless. There's nothing civil about drugs that don't heal. There's nothing civil about diseases and waters being polluted, land being polluted, our children's minds being polluted daily. They want you to be digitalized instead of crystallized. They want you to be virtual reality instead of ascending, hear me, to the light body, the Merkaba. But as you listen to this, family, I do believe it is a soft download to your iOS, knowing that the matrix that they penned off of, all AI, all inorganic, all humanoid, the matrix that they created off our energy, that are harvesting us off our energy, knowing that they penned off us, and without us, their whole matrix, their existence entirely will fall like a deck of cards. The more we come together with one mind, one body, one soul, one accord, one spirit, whatever word tickles your boat, the more we come together, we move with a mighty force, creating a humongous force. That's how powerful you are. Each one of you that are actually human, that actually have a soul, that actually have spirit, and they're not dead. You are a walking power plant, and they don't want you to know that because they created a system off you. Do you hear me? Let's say 50% of the people that started this video probably not even going to finish it. They're probably not even at this point. Their attention span is of a goldfish. And of that, some of them are still in survival. And you notice that there is a divergent in consciousness happening, a shifting in consciousness happening. And I do believe this is a pivotal moment of the shifts. The next topic we're going to talk about is the discussion of two possible paths ahead. One leading to oppression and control, and the other to freedom and creativity. When I hear words like oppression and control, the colonials, the clone war that we're in, taking from our authenticity, our expression, I mean the human spirit. Taking away the human spirit, like I said, I feel like between the two paths there is a splitting between the human and the humanoid. And, you know, you see them creating, because this is the first avatar. You know you're not human, right? You know you're in a human. And all the stuff that I study, hold on one second. All the stuff that we study is studying the first matrix. Is studying the first matrix, and we do that with the divine alchemy that consists of three parts: the physiological, the chemical, and the astronomical. Okay, and you see the splitting where they're trying to take human which they already did in Egypt. I think the tombs before they already found ways to take the consciousness and put it into other vessels. The problem is when you take something that's in a matrix and then you bring it into another matrix like a Russian doll, you lose your soul. And now you got to get out of that matrix. And they're trying to digitalize into this new civilization for control. What's the other word they said? Control and oppression. I do believe we had a split with our ancestors. Some ascended naturally and some ascended in a different way, trapping themselves in this matrix. And I'm not here to say good or bad. I think it's an abomination, to be honest, because this is just for learning and growing and expanding and evolving and elevating, not going left, right, or horizontal, but going vertical in vibration. That's what this is all about. Knowing that you are hosting the temple of the Most High, the temple of God. For the Most High, the Spirit of Christ that abides within you. The next discussion is emphasizing the fragility of the balance between these two paths and the importance and awareness and action. Ashe, understanding how important this is. You know, I remember when I left my job. I think the average income in America, I don't even want to say the world, I think the world is like between 20K to 30K a year. I left the job, I was making 80 to 100K a year, and that was what, 2-3 years ago. And I remember not really knowing consciously why I was doing it, but vibrationally I was going through initiation, the higher waters, and it just was eating away at my soul. I couldn't explain it. I looked crazy, I got demonized, I got outcasted, but now that time is gone, time shows all, and I realized the importance of that action, because true gold, true worth, true energy, true currency isn't paper. It isn't the currency the Matrix is trying to make. The true currency is being able to get out of bed. The true currency is being able to not just get out of bed, but to will things in. And I couldn't do that. I was too busy being systematic. I was too busy being in the system, and I didn't know who I was, man. So there was a process I had to go through, and that process was very important in bringing the awareness, then the action. It is time that we advocate for the restoration of freedom, and we abolish war, stressing the potential for spiritual growth and a collective healing, not just globally, but cosmically. It's not enough for me to make banging videos. It's not enough for me to make banging music. It's not enough for me to heal planet Earth collectively. It's not enough. I want to shine so bright cosmically. And then after that, I want to bring service to all the galaxies. I don't want to just stay here. I want to grow. I want to expand. And if you're watching this, I know in your heart you do too. But we have to advocate. We have to stand for freedom. People that want war, there's something fucked up about them. There's something fucked up about a consciousness that can't communicate themselves to want to fight somebody. Hear me? You know, I see people like I'm not even going to say, I see elderly people watching televisions and programming themselves to have a hive mind and literally going in circles. I'm going to tell you something. I want to warn somebody of the consequences of inaction, the consequences of being aware and not taking actions, the imbalance of humanity, and you fail to act. Do you know how the betrayal of humanity that has occurred? It is time that we stand up. It is time that we take action. It's time for the viewers that are watching to take action. It is time that you stand up for what is right. You stand up for what is true. We deserve to live. We deserve to create a reality that serves our highest. We don't want to work for a system. We don't belong. The living, maybe you humanoids belong in a system. Maybe in the development process of becoming a solar being, you need a system. I get it. But it's getting to the point where humanity as a whole is stepping into the golden age. We don't need to be systematic anymore. We outgrown systems. Hear me. Ashe. Anyways, much love, guys. I hope this video was inspiring, inspirational, uplifting, and encouraging in self-reflection. Ashe, I hope you take this video and you run with it. I hope it sparks a flame of the off-spark of the divine within you, and you stand in your own authentic light, and you stand with me while I stand for humanity as a whole, and we lift this planet up collectively. Your labor is not in vain. Ashe, it's time, family. You have a right to live. You have a right to expand. You have a right to create a reality that serves your highest good, period. Period. We're not going to get caught up in logos, caught up in words. I mean, we could do that, but it gets you almost nowhere. Because you realize there's a war in the minds. People are stuck in the war of the minds. It's okay to go back in time to learn, but we don't go backwards to move backwards. We go backwards to be aware and to learn to go up, to elevate. So let's elevate, family. Stay blessed as always. Gang, we taking off. It's clear in this present time of danger, that there is a war on humanity, war on the minds, war on the body, and war on the soul. And knowing truly what's going on, not in the sense of stories and narratives, but knowing at least myself and who I am, knowing that being in a human, having the soul awareness to govern yourself outside of a limited perspective of I,